Studies are showing that a free trade agreement between South Korea and the European Union has been far more beneficial for the EU than South Korea. According to an annual report submitted to the European Parliament and Council, EU exports to South Korea from when the FTA was signed in July 2011 to June 2012 increased 37% overall, while exports from South Korea to the EU in the same period have, quote, only marginally increased by 1%. Analyses by public economic institutions in Seoul indicate that South Korean exports to the EU are declining. The FTA did not have any effect. Exports have dramatically decreased due to the debt crisis in Europe, which is driving demand for products down. The Korea Customs Service reports that Seoul saw a trade surplus totaling $51 billion from its 8 free trade agreements. The largest portion of the surplus came from Southeast Asian countries, not the EU. South Korea posted its first trade balance deficit since 1998 with the European Union last year. Exports from South Korea to the EU have seen a gradual drop, despite the anticipated positive effects of the Korea-EU free trade agreement. Analysts argue that the Korea-EU FTA will be beneficial for Seoul in the long run, but caution that certain foreign industries could cripple the domestic market.
I am most worried about the service sector of South Korea. When the law and accounting market opens up, large EU law and accounting firms will come to South Korea, and I expect it will inflict huge damage.
The Economist also added that South Korea has helped employment and economic growth in the EU, as its largest industries, automobiles and electronics, have set up plants in Europe.
One of South Korea's main exports is automobiles, but South Korean cars sold in Europe are usually manufactured in Europe, so the FTA almost has no effect.
There are also discrepancies in reported figures between South Korea and the EU about their trade surplus, with some numbers differing by almost 50%. When Press TV asked the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade about the inconsistent data and whether governments were only choosing to reveal information that painted a rosy picture, a ministry spokesperson offered no comment. Joseph Kim, Press TV, Seoul.